Commander, can I help you with something?
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Sounds good. Have to say you run this ship tight, and we're getting things done. We keep on track and maybe we'll figure this out. I hope so. I'm not looking forward to the debrief if it all goes to hell. Is there something specific? Or are you just checking in?
I like to know my crew. Forget procedure. Tell me about yourself.
Informal, huh? Everything's in my file. Ex-Alliance like you, no Reapers or anything, but I got swept under the rug too. The more good you do, the less they want to admit that something needed doing.
What led you to Cerberus?
The Alliance sidelined me after Eden Prime. Ended up on a job with Miranda that Cerberus treated like an audition. And here I am.
You don't seem like a results-at-all-costs kind of guy. Cerberus history doesn't bother you?
The Alliance is all politics. Somebody has to take down the bad people. Cerberus keeps that line, I'm on their side.
What was your proudest career moment?
Covered this, didn't we? It was after getting sidelined. A Batarian group was plotting to release a weaponized virus and kill the Council. Miranda and I stopped it.
Strange that it wasn't bigger news.
The real work doesn't get publicized, you know that. They say it's better that people don't know how fragile the system is or how close the bad guys can get. So, it never happened. Like you and the Reaper. And that's why I'm here.
You look like you came through no worse for wear.
If nothing else, the Alliance trains their people well. Once you live that life, you can't sit around getting fat. You know how it goes. Although I bet Cerberus put you back together better than ever. Get any upgrades?
No chance. They had me under the whole time.
Figures. They always have to be in control. If that's all, Commander, I'll get back to my duties. There's a lot to get ready.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal. Earlier when we spoke, you were very open with me. I like that. But I hope I didn't come across as too flirty. I don't want to overstep my bounds.
You're very charming, Kelly.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual. Anyway, how may I help you, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
It's always nice chatting with you. How may I help you, Commander?
That'll be all.
It's always nice chatting with you.
Hey, Commander, we got Garrus back. That's great, because he was totally my favorite. With that pole up his ass.
I assume everything is going well up here?
We're just having an argument over personalization of my workspace.
Cerberus regulations are clear, Mr. Moreau. Personalization does not include grease on my bridge cameras.
It's just mad that all its footage of me looks like a dream sequence.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, I would never say anything against Miranda. And expect to survive the reprisal. Zaid is like you, but takes checks. As long as it's not my money, we're good. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something. So you knew Archangel from before? Interesting. Knew a lot of men taking jobs to kill the son of a bitch. I never saw the point. You know, I wanted the same thing. A whole lot of mercs dead. Hell of a sniper, though. And he kept himself alive with all the mercs in Omega after him. That ain't easy. I was trying to remember how many Cerberus operatives I've killed. Lost track around 50. Guess your elusive man's big on forgiveness. I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard. Hey, don't touch. That rifle's older than you are. I call her Jessie. That's my lucky charm. More men have been killed with that gun than died in the Skillian Blitz. The day I laid her to rest was the saddest day of my life. I give up every weapon I own for one more mission with that shitty old rifle. Oh yeah, that's a model of the Veracon. Turian frigate. Hell of a ship. I led a mission to bring that thing down from the inside with just 5 men and whatever guns we could bring. No chance of success, but we did it. Everyone died but me. So I made out like a bandit. My first impossible mission as an independent contractor. There's been many since, but nothing so goddamn sweet as watching that Turian warship crash planetside. Beauty, isn't it? Pried that off the Krogan warlord, Kazak. Used to run the blood pack out of Omega about 17 years ago. Wasn't even a job. The guy just thought he'd hijack a freighter I was hitchhiking on. Big mistake. I goaded Kazak into one-on-one combat. Took out his legs, grabbed his gun, and killed every blood pack bastard in the room. That was the most beaten Krogan I've ever seen. Kept a helmet to remind me of that pained expression.
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
Of course. I'm just finishing an operation report. I'm impressed, Shepard. So far things have gone exceptionally well. As Cerberus operations go, this is one of the best I've been a part of.
Maybe that's because this isn't a Cerberus operation.
Not to you, maybe. But I report directly to the elusive man. And I'm here because he wants me to be. Cerberus gave you a second chance, Commander. Maybe you should do the same for us.
Cerberus obviously has your loyalty. How did you get involved with them?
I suppose you've earned the right to know. Do you remember when I told you how I was genetically altered? Well, that wasn't my choice. My father created me. He's a very influential man and extremely controlling. He didn't want a daughter. He wanted a dynasty. I ran away as soon as I was old and brave enough. I went to Cerberus because I knew they could protect me.
How bad were the terms you and your father parted on?
Shots were fired.
You seem capable of defending yourself. Why did you need Cerberus?
My father invested a great deal in his dynasty. It wasn't a matter of just leaving. I knew he would continue to pursue his investments.
I assume that Cerberus approved of your enhanced abilities?
Of course. Cerberus fully endorses anything that advances the cause of humanity. Genetic alterations included. But unlike my father and his own selfish reasons, Cerberus and the elusive man believe in a greater good. They see the bigger picture, and I feel like I have a purpose here.
Who exactly is your father?
A businessman, but a very wealthy one. It's ironic, my father believed deeply in a human-positive agenda. He donated generously to Cerberus before I joined them. That's how I first heard about Cerberus, through my father's connections.
You've told me a lot about your father. What happened to your mother?
I never had one. Most of my genetic material is based on my father's tissue. His Y chromosome was altered with an amalgam of desired traits from various sources. How arrogant can you be? The man is completely egomaniacal. Just another reason I had to get away from him.
You talk about yourself like you're just a tool to be used. By your father? By Cerberus?
Maybe. I like to know where I fit in the world. It helps me find meaning in how I was created.
You are who you are, Miranda. You don't need to make excuses for it.
That's easy for you to say. We've both been engineered for greatness, Shepard. The difference is you were great before we rebuilt you. I'm great because of it.
Your spirit and personality are what make you great. It's what makes anyone great.
That's kind of you. I'm not sure I believe you, but thanks for saying it.
Thanks for your time, Miranda. I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, Commander.
What's this area of the ship?
The gunnery control station. The ship's batteries are controlled from here. The Combat Information Center operators send targeting information here. The CIC decides who to shoot. Gunnery control decides how to shoot.
Shepard, need me for something?
What can you tell me about the Normandy's armaments?
Looks like Cerberus upgraded what the ship carried before. Should have a bit more kick. I still don't like our chances against a collector ship, though. Not unless we upgrade the guns.
Have the Cerberus crewmen given you any trouble?
I think being part of the team that took down Saren got me some points. Everyone I talked to was polite, anyway. Don't worry, Commander. We're all working together.
Have you got a minute?
Sure. Just checking the weapon systems. You can never be too careful. I thought I'd seen every weapon in the galaxy in our fight against Saren. Mercenary work showed me otherwise. And now Cerberus rebuilds the Normandy with a few upgrades to boot. I wish we'd joined up with them sooner.
We haven't joined Cerberus. They're funding our mission. That's all.
Relax, Shepard. Just a figure of speech. I can't exactly doubt your judgment. Not after I got my own squad killed.
What did your merc squad do? It didn't sound like you were available for hire.
You saw Omega. It was full of thugs kicking the helpless. I formed my team to kick back. We weren't mercenaries. At least nobody was paying us. We made money by taking down slavers, pirates, or gangs that went too far.
It sounds like you were just another gang.
Then I'm saying it wrong. We didn't shake anyone down. No civilian casualties. That was our rule. Every member of my team had lost someone to Omega's gangs. We weren't out to get rich. We were out to make those bastards think twice before murdering someone in the street.
Doesn't sound like you made any friends with the gangs.
I got 3 separate merc bands to work together to take me down. My manager at CSEC would be impressed. It was simple. We'd hit their shipments, disrupt activities, get under their skin, make them angry. They'd come charging right into our well-prepared kill zone, crossfire and snipers, clean and surgical. They never stood a chance.
How'd you end up fighting mercenaries here on Omega?
I trained to become a Spectre after the Normandy was destroyed, but it didn't work out. Too much politicking at the Citadel. Nobody was willing to take risks. Omega was filled with criminals nobody else could touch. And there was no red tape to slow me down. It was a perfect fit. People here needed someone to believe in. Someone to stand up to the local thugs.
That explains how you started. How'd you end up with a squad?
Not too different from how you formed your squad to fight Saren, actually. You prove that you get things done, and people join up. Mercs who wanted to atone. Security consultants tired of playing by the rules. I gave them hope. And now they're dead. Shows what I know.
Tell me about your squad.
There were 12 of us, including me. Former military operatives, CSEC agents, the usual. Had a Solarian explosives expert. Pretty sure he'd spent time in the Special Tasks group. My tech expert was a Batarian, believe it or not. Not the friendliest guy, but he could hack any system ever built.
How did those mercenary gangs take down your team?
It was my own damn fault. One of my people betrayed me. A turian named Sidonis. He drew me away just before the mercs attacked my squad. Then he disappeared. Everyone except me is dead because of him. And because I didn't see it coming.
I'm not sure I understand. What happened exactly?
Sidonis asked for my help on a job. When I got to the meeting point, nobody was there. By the time I got back to our hideout, The mercs had killed all but 2 of my squad. And they didn't last long.
Are you sure it was a betrayal? Maybe they took Sedonis out first.
No. I'd put out feelers with some old contacts. He booked transport off Omega just before the attack. He also cleared out his private accounts before he left. He sold me out and ran.
Do you know where Sedonis is now?
No. His trail vanishes after he leaves Omega, but I'll keep hunting. I lost my whole team except for Sedonis. One day I'll find him and correct that. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I've got some things to take care of.
How may I help you, Commander?
I have a present for you, Doc.
Ceres ice brandy? You didn't. Thank you. I always regretted not opening that original bottle when I still could. I won't make the same mistake again. Why don't we open this bottle right here, right now, you and me?
You crack open the bottle. I'll get the glasses.
I thought Alenko's biotic display might have broken Jenkins' back, but Jenkins pops up and yells, "That was awesome!" Oh, Jenkins. Soldiers like him make the Alliance great. Cerberus lacks the same enthusiasm.
With your service record, you could have gotten a tour of duty on any Alliance ship. Why'd you really leave?
Maybe it's less about leaving and more about staying. As a military doctor, I mostly treat people who are in bad shape. Often they die. And if I can help them, they move on. Either way, they leave.
Don't you have any friends or family?
No, not lacking friendship. Just stability. Jocker will always have Vrolic syndrome. He would never admit it, but he needs my help, and he always will. I wish it weren't, but sadly it's true.
Treating Jocker gives you a kind of stability.
So does this ship, even if it's a copy. Or, hell, maybe it's you, Shepard. Our immovable center. A place for a person to stop and catch her breath. Or maybe I'm just happily drunk. Would it hurt if it was simple like that for once?
To the people we care for.
May we never take them for granted.
No messages for you, Commander.
warnings about the slums where Dr. Mordin Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also run searches for reports on Archangel. The various mercenary groups appear to believe that he is dead.
Works for me.
Come on, let me in. Aria's expecting me.
If she were expecting.
Give me another paper.
One night with Aria. That's all it'll take.
Aria has a job she needs doing. You up for some work?
That depends on what Aria has in mind.
Aria's gotten word that some blood-packed mercs plan to kill an old acquaintance of hers. A Krogan named Patriarch. She'd like you to keep that from happening.
What's the Blood Pack's problem with Patriarch?
If you've met Patriarch, you know. He can't keep his damn mouth shut. Some people don't appreciate his stories. Especially when he dips into non-fiction.
What's Aria's interest in protecting him?
Patriarch was one of her deadliest enemies back in the old days. Now she keeps what's left of him around as a trophy. As long as he lives, he's a perfect example of what happens when you go up against Aria.
Why come to me? Aria's usual muscle not up for the job?
Because Aria said so. What other reason do you need?
People like Aria don't do things without a damn good reason. I want to hear it.
Fine, but I didn't tell you this. Got me? If it gets out that Aria's protecting Patriarch, well, that can look like a weakness. And some people might want to exploit that. You're not on her payroll, so you helping Patriarch just seems like a random act of kindness.
I'll look into it.
Good. Patriarch's downstairs, likely surrounded by his fans. Get him into hiding until the mercs move on. Come back here when it's done, and you'll get your due.
I'll be back when the job is done.
Good luck.
Commander Shepard? Is that you? I'd heard you were dead. I'm Helena Blake. We met a few years ago. I don't expect you'd remember. You removed 2 criminal warlords from power and persuaded me to retire. I'll never forget it.
What brings you to Omega?
What brings anyone to Omega? Opportunity, success, failure, all of the above? I find this place suits me. I can bring it a certain air of civility, I suppose.
And now you're on Omega. Once a criminal, always a criminal, eh?
Oh no, Commander. I retired. I know better than to go back on my word with you. You convinced me to turn my life around. I'm a social worker now, believe it or not.
That seems like a hopeless job in a place like this.
Quite the opposite, actually. This place needs it more than most. Doing the good work in a place like this requires that one understand how things truly work, which makes me uniquely qualified.
That's more noble than I expected.
Noble? No. It's just that someone came along a few years ago and made me see the error of my ways. You convinced me that I could use my contacts and skills for things other than smuggling and exploitation. I thank you for that.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're keeping out of trouble.
Thank you. This is all to your credit, Commander.
I have to go.
Of course. You must have more important things to do.
The Shepard Memorial on Akuz is expected to open next year, once the area is declared safe for visitors. Admiral Stephen Hackett will preside. The attack on the human colony of Freedom's Progress has generated a swift but confused
should have warned you, Shepard. I'm sorry.
What's going on here?
You ought to be all right. Just take her easy. Looks like you broke the first rule of Omega. Don't order a drink at Afterlife if you're human.
Humans aren't welcome at Afterlife?
It's just that one Batarian bartender. He's got a stick up his ass about a bunch of Batarians that died a while back. No one does a thing about it, though. Humans ain't exactly held in high regard around here.
That bartender tried to poison me?
Tried is the word. As far as I know, you're the first human to survive it. Me and my friend Jake went there to celebrate our new shipping business. He got real drunk, and an hour later he was puking blood.
Duly noted. Let's get back to work.
Be careful out there.
Leave, human. Tell Captain Gavon we not kill anyone today.
I don't know a Captain Gavor. Why would I tell him anything?
Not trust you. Tell Gavon we know his tricks. We not kill anyone today.
There seem to be a lot of Borcha on Omega.
Go away. Talk too much. Gavon's thugs get no more. We leave.
Good talking to you.
No more talk. We know Gavon's tricks. We leave.
Hello there. Might I interest you in some salvage tech? Every credit goes toward a ticket to get me off this forsaken rock.
I buy a lot of parts and equipment. Maybe we can make an arrangement.
Well, you seem like a decent person, but you can't breathe a word of it to Harrod.
Of course.
Then we have a deal. Maybe I'll at least sell something to you.
What brought a nice kid like you to Omega?
My pilgrimage. What money I had got stolen within a few days, so I decided to sell salvage parts. You can see how that turned out. Harrod's forcing me to sell high, and I can't even afford a ticket off this station.
Why does Harrod control your prices?
Harrod made me swear not to undercut him, no matter what. He was here first, so it's his right. But no one will buy from me when he's so much cheaper. I can't save enough money for a ticket off the station.
How much do you need to get off Omega?
I still need 1,000 credits to pay my way, but I couldn't let you do that. This is my mistake on my pilgrimage. It's my problem.
Here you go. 1,000 credits. Get out of here.
Thank you. With this, I can finally continue on my pilgrimage. I'm going to buy my ticket right now. Thank you again.
This should come in handy.
Do I know you? No, you humans all look the same. Here, have a drink on the house.
What do you think these people will do when they find out you're poisoning your customers?
Poisoning what now?
This has nothing to do with you!
Who's next? Turians? You don't like them either, right?
Answer the damn question, Forvan.
You want a piece of me? I'll leave your corpse for the fortune.
Not taking any chances.
So, either... Shepard? I heard you were dead. I had a party and everything. No hard feelings, though, huh? No, really, thanks for taking the time to chase a small-time crook off the Citadel so I could squat in this shithole for years.
And if you leave the straight and narrow, I'll be there to follow up.
Right, because you don't have planets to save and bigger shit like that. Nothing better to do than keep me down. Goddamn saviors of the galaxy, messing with a man's living.
Said he had close family. They'll just want revenge. Kill the family first, then he'll get angry and come at you stupid. And then you kill him. I don't think I know you, human. I'm the Patriarch. Aria's Patriarch. What do you want?
What do you know about Aria?
A few centuries ago, Omega was my rock. When Aria arrived, she had nothing but the clothes on her back. I thought she was another dancer. She killed half my men and convinced the rest that she could run this place better than I did. She came for me here in this bar. We tore this place apart. She crushed one of my hearts, shattered half the bones in my body, and left me alive.
What made her decide to leave you alive?
No, she doesn't destroy what she can use. She said I could have all my old comforts if I served as her advisor. I knew how things worked. I knew who to lean on, who to smack down, who to smile at. And everyone who respected me saw me beaten, broken. They knew that as strong as I'd been, she was stronger.
Rumor has it some people want you dead. Know anything about that?
Well, I can think of a few. I know things. Old secrets, old grudges. A few floors you can dig up to find bodies underneath. And someone who wanted to weaken Aria might come after me. They do it to get to her, you see. Not for me. I don't matter enough anymore to have enemies of my own.
Why do they call you Patriarch?
It's like an Asari matriarch, only male. It was Aria's little joke. After she took me down, she let me live. Kept me around as an advisor and a trophy.
A Krogan as old as you must have some great stories.
I killed a lot of people, lived well, and was beaten by a small Asari who keeps me around as an example. My time is done. Anyone I killed is long forgotten. The stories are Aria's now.
Some people want you dead. I've been asked to move you to safety.
Well, of course. Aria wouldn't want me hurt. It would make her look bad. Perhaps Aria's reputation is no longer my concern. Perhaps I will stay. See who thinks me important enough to kill.
Here's an idea. Let me handle the assassins for you.
And so your name grows, while I remain an old man who lets others fight his battle.
No. You remain a powerful warlord with forces at his command. Not just Aria's trophy.
You could be my Trent, fighting for my honor. If you would do this for me, I would be grateful. I might even be a Krogan again. Out
of our way, human.
You here for Patriarch?
What if we are? You gonna do something about it?
Patriarch sent us. Said to do whatever it takes.
You're Patriarch's Grant. I wasn't aware the old man had one.
You should have done your homework.
Killed them all. And everyone knows that the Patriarch is not to be crossed. Thanks to you, Aria may think of me as more than a trophy. A real advisor, maybe. Or even a threat.
Use this. Don't ever let anyone think you're weak again.
Thanks to you, I am a Krogan. By the way, be careful with Aria. She will approve of what you've done, I think. But not of you altering the balance of Omega. I think it reminds her too much of herself.
Aria wants to speak with you, human. She heard you took on the Blood Pack assassins yourself. I wouldn't keep her waiting.
Word has it that Patriarch's Krant took out the men sent here to kill him. Funny, I didn't know he had a Krant.
Patriarch has more influence than you thought.
I see. Well, maybe I should watch my back then. It's not what I asked, but you got the job done. Do you need something else?
This data pad was on one of the mercs that was after Archangel. They were coming for you next.
Let me see. Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
I'll look into it.
You've done a lot for me, Shepard. Let me return the favor. We're sending your coordinates to a cache on an uncharted world. You want it? It's yours.
We can use any help we can get.
Whatever you find is yours to deal with.
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later.
Why don't you find a nice girl to keep you warm in the meantime? You look like you need to loosen up a little. What do you need?
We friendly enough to talk about who you were before, Omega?
You're reaching back centuries, Shepard. Long before anything that should matter to you.
So why keep it secret?
No reason, from your perspective. But there are plenty of people out there with long memories. I've had a few careers, a few names. Commando training, mercenary leanings. I've kept what was valuable and dropped the baggage.
I thought you were in charge. Why so scared of your past?
I have nothing to fear on Omega. That doesn't mean I want to broadcast my past to the galaxy. You'd be surprised how long some entities can hold a grudge. This little exercise with Patriarch? A footnote. Not even the first Krogan I've pissed off.
You're important, but also isolated. No other allies out there to back you up?
I lean toward a particular type of work. It tends to encourage professional rivalry. Sometimes you'd rather disappear than be forced to kill someone.
You couldn't have started here with nothing. You must have been someone important.
I've always been important, even if others didn't recognize it. So yes, I had money to start this operation. I also had creditors who thought they were more entitled to it. I let them chase a ghost. Or several. It's relatively easy to outlive a Solarian, but not their record-keeping.
All right, I'll drop it.
Better luck next time.
Sounds like you and Patriarch have a history.
Our history is Omega's history. Long, bloody, and always ending in my favor. The details are complicated. When I arrived, Omega was lawless, a land of opportunity. I built alliances and destroyed the fools who wouldn't get in line, which was most of them. But Patriarch, he was something different. A powerful friend.
I'm surprised you were ever anything but rivals.
We were allies for 100 years. I suppose he decided that was long enough. Wasn't a surprise when he turned. He controlled the muscle, my people contributed more subtle action. Espionage, politics, assassination. Fortunately for me, his men had become accustomed to certain benefits of working with Asari.
Superior intel? Assassination?
That's cute. No, I took advantage of certain skills my people try to downplay. Patriarch's men abandoned him in droves. In the end, we fought face to face on this very spot. The toughest fight of my life. But of course I won.
Patriarch doesn't sound like something an Asari would come up with.
I found it humorous. He wanted power, and we pretended he had it with a word that doesn't exist for my people. I eventually found a certain respect for the title and the man.
So you kept him around as a trophy?
I did. A trophy and an example. Whenever someone thought about taking me on, I pointed them to Patriarch. Dignity is one of the few commodities not available on Omega.
Interesting, but let's move on.
Do you need something else?
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later.
Why don't you find a nice girl to keep you warm in the meantime? You look like you need to loosen up a little.
Come on, let me in.
End is not humans. A blight on galactic purity. You, sir, you are a blight. You and you.
That the people who rule Omega do so. Act now for Omega's future.
An independent inquiry is investigating a group known as Cerberus in light of charges made by one Corporal Toombs and testimony by an apparent Cerberus scientist. A researcher known only as Dr. Wayne has been promised immunity and has suggested Cerberus may
Walking around in this place makes me sick. People still dying. The strong still exploiting the weak. Nothing I did here even made a dent in this.
Hope has announced plans for an expansion. The Systems Alliance Parliamentary Subcommittee for Transhuman Studies has awarded reparations for biotics suffering complications from L2 implants. Subcommittee Chairman Burns thanked biotics everywhere for their patience and understanding, and promised more help for those forgotten by
I might have something here for humans. Not much.
What have you got in stock?
Something of everything. A lot of merchandise comes through this station, and I snatch up the best of it.
I'm in the mood to spend some money, but I think I can find better stuff elsewhere.
You won't find a better selection anywhere. Unless you're willing to risk the black market.
I'd rather deal with you than give money to those thieves. You sure we can't make a deal?
Look, I can't compete with the black market. I have to make a profit. I'll do what I can, but don't tell anyone or I'll lose my shirt.
Now what's this?
Devlon Industries. Fine sidearms for your personal protection.
The Turian government is considering further reparations.
Tentatively excited. Welcome, human. What can I get for you?
What kinds of things do you sell here?
Friendly, salvaged parts. All kinds. Mostly legitimate. With pride, my prices are the lowest anywhere on the station. You won't find salvage cheaper than mine.
I have things to do.
Courteously, have a fine day. Take a look at my kiosk if you want to buy anything.
Diplomatic incident waiting to happen has to say about humanity's role in galactic affairs.
I'll take it.
Certa Foundation is likely to close by the end of this fiscal year.